Good afternoon, I'm Denise Tan and this is One News Now. There is no need to declare martial law in Marawi after the recent bombing incident there. That's according to National Security Council Assistant Director General Jonathan Malaya in an interview with Sa Totoo Lang on 1PH. He said the blast in Mindanao State University is different from the Marawi siege back in 2017, which called for military rule. That siege, led by the Maute group 6 years ago, left a trail of massive destruction and death and lasted for 5 months. The MSU attack, on the other hand, killed 4 and injured at least 45 others as the victims were attending a Catholic Mass on December 3. The Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the carnage. At this point, the government is not ruling out the Maute group or any other terrorist organization as suspect in the blast.
We know for a fact na may mga active pa sa Lanao del Sur. Inaalam natin yung kanilang involvement dito. Yun nga lang, it's too early to make a conclusion at this moment. As of now, based on the initial result of the investigation, nangyayari pa lamang itong pangbobombang sa MSU sa Marawi is that it is local terrorists who have pledged allegiance to the ISIS who are responsible for this attack.
Meantime, the armed forces warned that the MSU bombing could be a message of a bigger threat. AFP Public Affairs Chief Cerces Trinidad told The Big Story that their probe is focused on the explosive used, usually a signature of the terrorist group involved. He also reiterated the military's commitment to stopping recruitment efforts of armed groups.
This could be an isolated case, but from the previous situations wherein we had our Marawi siege during that time, and we don't want that to happen again. And we are actually finishing all of these remnants of these particular groups who have consolidated in Marawi City. And maybe we cannot say actually if this could be a way of them saying that, hey, we're not yet done.
Moving on, President Bongbong Marcos has again tested positive for COVID-19. But the Presidential Communications Office said that Chief Executive is well enough to carry out his duties. For now, all his meetings will be via teleconferencing. The President is reminding Filipinos to be extra cautious this holiday season by wearing masks and getting vaccinated against viruses. Marcos Jr. first tested positive for COVID-19 in March 2020 and again in July of 2022. Pasig City Mayor Vico Sotto is also infected with the coronavirus. Sotto posted a photo of his antigen result on Facebook and apologized that his scheduled task will be disrupted. The Pasig mayor said he would either postpone his meetings or attend via Zoom. He also advised everyone to mask up, saying COVID-19 and other respiratory diseases like pneumonia are still very much present. Time to take a quick break. One News Now will be back with more stories after that. Stay with us. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Denise Tan. Vice President Sara Duterte has rebuked President Bongbong Marcos for restarting peace talks with communist rebels. In a Facebook video, she called the deal an agreement with the devil. She also criticized Marcos's efforts to grant pardon to captured rebel groups through several proclamations. In Oslo, Norway last week, the government and the National Democratic Front agreed to restart peace negotiations. That's something the VP's father, former President Rodrigo Duterte, scrapped 6 years ago.
Mr. President, the government's statement with the NDFP in Oslo was an agreement with the devil. Napatunayan na natin sa kasaysayan na hindi sila seryoso at wala silang sinseridad sa usaping pangkapayapaan. Gagamitin nila itong peace negotiation sa pagtraidor sa pamahalaan at paglinlang sa taong bayan. We appeal to your power to review these proclamations and agreements.
But lawmakers disagree with the Vice President. House Speaker Martin Romualdez believes peace talks are an opportunity to mend long-standing divisions. One opposition legislator also dismissed VP Duterte's misgivings.
We support 100% our President's policy in the peace talks. And it is also perfect timing. It is Christmas. It is the time for peace. And that is what we all want, especially during the Christmas season.
Ano ba yung mas devil? Yung magtuloy-tuloy, yung advocacy na magtuloy-tuloy yung gera o maging peaceful, 'di ba, ang ating bayan? At alin ba yung mas devil? Yung gumasta ka ng 125 million na confidential fund na wala namang authorization mula sa Kongreso.
Now on to the VP's father. Former President Duterte was a no-show on the first day of the preliminary probe into the grave threat complaints he's facing. 2 lawyers represented him at the Quezon City Hall Court of Justice on Monday. They said Duterte simply did not receive the subpoena. Complainant ACT Party List Representative Franz Castro was dismayed over Duterte's absence.
As a respondent, dapat hinaharap niya yung kaso niya. Sinasabi nila, ina-allege nila na wala pa daw natanggap si ex-President Duterte ng subpoena at saka yung aking complaint. So wala pa daw siya natanggap at ngayon tinanggap nung dalawang counsel. So ang ibig sabihin, mag-aantay na naman tayo.
Castro has filed a supplemental affidavit on another alleged threat made by Duterte. This was from the same program as cited in the first complaint but was aired on November 16. The court gave Duterte 10 days to respond to the new accusation with preliminary investigation set on December 15. We now give you a quick look at today's other top stories. Inflation has eased for the second straight month to 4.1% in November. This was lower than the 4.9% recorded in October. The Bangko Sentral said Filipino consumers saw lower prices of vegetables and fuel products in November, coupled with the strengthening of the peso. Some residents in Hinatuan, Surigao del Sur are complaining due to lack of aid. That's following the magnitude 7.4 earthquake that rocked the province. So far, the local government is conducting assessment to deliver assistance to affected residents. Hinatuan is now under a state of calamity. PBA Party List Representative Margarita Nograles files a resolution urging the National Telecommunications Commission to suspend the operations of SMNI. Nograles accused SMNI of violating the terms of its congressional franchise. The lawmaker said the network failed in its responsibility to public by disseminating fake information. Recall that SMNI anchor Jeffrey K. Eric Celis claimed that Speaker Martin Romualdez has a 1.8 billion travel fund. Celis has since apologized to the Speaker. The Supreme Court has released the list of passers for the 2023 bar examinations. The list of new lawyers will be displayed on LED walls of the SC courtyard until 6 p.m. today. The results are also on the High Court's website and official social media pages. EAT hosts Tito, Vic, and Joey win their trademark battle against former boss Tape Incorporated. They indeed own the Bulaga brand. The Intellectual Property Party Office of the Philippines ruled that TVJ coined the Bulaga name. This means they have absolute and exclusive right to register this title. In August, the office granted TAPE's request for renewal of the trademark Bulaga and its logo for 10 years. One News Now will be back at 3:15 p.m. Join us again later. I'm Denise Tan. We are One News.